Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of OMG WAT DAT. My name is Jubu, and we are at the 16th Avenue bridge to check out the story of the girl. There's an apparition. Anyway, I'm here with Skyler of Hawaiian Hauntings, and yeah, today's episode is the 16th Avenue Bridge and the haunting that's here. So let's get settled and we'll start the story. Alright guys, for those of you who do not know why I'm wearing a mask, it is still COVID-19 time here in Hawaii. We are required to wear a mask. So because we are in a populated area, yeah, I'm here wearing a mask. For those of you who know that stuff, I'm the resident Baba Yaga, and this is OMG WAT DAT. Alright guys, so I'm here with Skyler, as you can see as he walks down the street. He's behind me. The 16th Avenue Bridge is supposedly haunted by a girl who was walking one day from school, and she died on here. There's a few stories. I'm gonna name two of them. Basically the story of this is kind of hard to do with a mask on, but like I said, I'll try. Anyway, the first story is about a girl who was coming home from school, and one day, out of the blue, there was an accident on the bridge. Back then the bridge was basically only like not as big as how it is now. I'm crossing the street so that I don't interfere with Skyler and his life. Anyway, I'm across the street, and Skyler's across the street also, and the story is that I'm walking on the bridge as we speak. As the girl was coming home, there was an accident that had happened. That accident was a really big one. Back then the road was pretty small, and the story was that she got hit and thrown over the bridge. Yes, thrown over the bridge. So if you want to see how much of the bridge, this is going to Coco Head side, and it is said that she was thrown over this bridge, and yeah, she haunts now the bridge at certain times. We're not at the time that it's supposed to be, but we're on the bridge. The other story, if you guys can hear me, hopefully you guys can hear me. The other story is supposedly a suicide. She was distraught, and she had jumped over this bridge behind me and died. Now she, like the other story, she walks the bridge on certain times. Now, personally, I've actually seen something on this bridge, but it was on a rainy night in the 90s. But I cannot confirm or deny the fact that it was a girl. So what I'm doing right now is I'm actually walking totally across the bridge and then coming up the other side. And basically the story, what had happened when we were here is, it was a rainy day and night. And what had happened was, We stopped over here because we heard about the story, and of course all of us didn't believe about the story. So we actually came here, parked our cars when this was actually smaller than it was, and it was kind of drizzling, and what we seen was pretty weird. If you look right behind me at the corner of Harding and 16th Street, what looks like a monkey pod tree is where we first thought we seen something. It supposedly was a mist that came up from that corner. We kind of looked at it and said, it is what it is, and we just, you know, slapped aside. Well, we walked across like I'm walking across the way right now. Sorry, it's just been a while since I've actually held the camera. But I'm walking across 16th Street, and it went from a drizzle to a slightly heavier rain. If you look up the road right now, where Skyler is, up that road, just before that no parking sign, was a what looked to me was a shape of a girl leaning on the railing on the rain, but there was no person. You know how when things are raining on you, you can actually see the shape? Yeah. So that's what I've seen personally, and that's the only thing I can really tell you what I've seen. But the other guys have seen other stuff because they've been more here than I have. Anyway, so let's walk to that location and keep showing you the road. It's a fairly big drop, and this is the road that basically she fell, and it's a fairly big drop down the way. But yeah, Skyler is with me today, guys, and we are here to check it out. We're gonna do a few readings, see what we can see here. It is a clear night for those of you who are trying to figure out how bad the weather is. And I'm hoping that you guys can actually hear me through all this trafficy noise. Hi guys. So I'm gonna station the camera right here, just for the sake of everybody to know. Did a K2 reading right now, if you guys are looking. Hi guys. Once again, I'm here with Skyler of Hawaiian Hauntings, and he's on live
with Hawaiian Hauntings.
I'm not. I prefer not to. But just to give you a heads up here, we are at the K2 is actually saying something. Now, this does not always mean that there is some sort of haunting going on. Based on what I'm seeing right now, I do believe we might be standing on top of a electrical wire. Now, if I turn it this way, as you can tell, it disappears. For those of you on my thing, you guys can't really see it, but I know Hawaiian Hauntings can. It turns off. That means the magnetic field is going this way, which means the wire is running that way. So if we do this right now, for those of you looking, this primarily says there is a magnetic field here, but I do believe it's a wire running across the bridge. But if you're ghost hunting, always remember, don't just keep it in one direction. If you turn the thing and you see this happen, if you, well, I cannot answer that, but if it stays green, for those of you out there, that's primarily a wire, but that does not tell me it's a wire. It could be, because if I did do it this way, you guys see the thing. So there could be a conduit running this way. These were primarily designed to locate conduits and which direction the electric fields are going. So don't always assume when you see stuff like this it's a haunting. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna pull out another type, K2 type, and I will verify. I do have another K2 that is not like this. Only because we've come across many times where there is an electrical field and the electrical field is generated by some sort of power. So in the meantime, I'm gonna grab in my bag and then we'll be back. Hi guys, we're back. I got the checker. Okay. This is actually a wire checker. For those of you who don't know what this is, it's like a K2, but what it also tells you is the radiation field that happens when wire heats up. And currently right now we're at 5 joules of electricity, which means we are standing on a conduit, so it's a guaranteed. So if you guys really need a K2 that's really accurate and can differentiate between radiation, heat, and electromagnetic, this is one of the better ones to go, though there are better ones than that. So let's do what was said. Somebody suggested on Hawaiian Hauntings Live, go in the middle and put the K2 and see what we see. Well, that's exactly what we're gonna do. And for those of you who are my subscribers, nothing is crazy unless it's unsafe. So I'm not gonna dangle my feet over the bridge, but we are gonna bring the K2 to the middle. So, all right, guys. So yeah, follow us. Follow us. All right, guys. Just to give a heads up of what's going on. Okay. We are getting nominal. See, this is how you know maybe something is not really here. I've heard, I don't know if some of you guys at Hawaiian Hauntings, that she's seen also on the other side of the bridge. So we're in the middle of this one on this side. You want to go across? Yeah, let's go. Okay, so we're on the middle of the actual bridge itself, and we're still getting the same readings from earlier. So we're gonna just park the guy right here, and hopefully no curious cops come walking up on us and ask us what we are doing on top of a bridge. So what I'm going to do today is, instead of using the SB7, I'm going to try to see if we can use a ghost radar. I know it's pretty loud because of the traffic that's running under us. For those of you on my channel, you'll have the privilege of actually seeing what you see from the ghost radar, because I'm actually going to put a camera on the iPad itself. No way.
What happened? What?
Something, it turned on itself without, it's not voice control.
That GPS, that GoPro just turned on by itself?
I didn't even touch it yet.
Dang.
So, I don't know, guys. It's weird. When we were here earlier, the other GoPro was being turned on and off by itself. So hopefully, like I said, cops don't do nothing. We're not really interfering with anybody, and we're also away from houses, so we're not bothering anybody. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start up a okay. So I'm turning it on. First word out, throw.
What's up?
First word out, throw. So I got out outside it. It already said one word.
Yeah, it says throw.
Now, what got thrown? You could speculate. Maybe I'd say maybe the story of her being thrown off the bridge when that accident happened might be more attuned than her jumping off the bridge and doing suicide.
So I'm not getting a suicide vibe at all. I'm pretty good about like negative energy and stuff.
Yeah.
It'd be very negative if there was a suicide. And I don't think I feel
Anything like that.
bad vibes here.
Well, based on what I know, guys, on the story and the report, the car could have thrown somebody over the bridge. And back then, the bridge was a lot more smaller than it is now.
Like half as the.
Yeah, almost half of this.
They widened it, but it was like half the size before. Two-way.
Alright guys, so I'm gonna leave it here. The K2 is kinda acting back and forth, but not exactly sure why it's doing that when it's laid down.
What year did she die?
I do believe the reports say in the 70s.
In the 70s?
Yeah. But a lot of people have been seeing her since then. The last time I seen her was in the 90s when I came back straight from the military. That's when I last seen her here.
Is there an actual police report on this situation?
Yeah.
And it talks about a girl getting hit as well?
Yeah, it tells about it doesn't say hit.
Oh.
State? I don't know. Yeah, I don't understand why there's a state, but according to the radar... Butter? I don't know. Alright.
You're absolutely right.
Unit.
Have you had other experiences where your technology turned on before in a haunted place just without you doing anything?
Yeah. I've had batteries drained.
Because I know things drain with the energy, so like my phone's died before. I know things have happened, like flashlights go out, but I didn't know about things turning on.
Yeah, it's weird. For those of you on Hawaiian Hauntings, there was an incident in Maui that kind of not really scared me, but made me think somebody was playing with me. The EL Theater video, I went to EL Theater. I was told I wasn't allowed to go in because there was a performance happening. So I really wanted to go there to see the haunted displays and see, I forgot what her name was, Jenny or something, whatever her name was. It's a confirmed ghost. Other ghost people actually has confirmed her existence there, and I wanted to see the documentation and the actual display they had, because they actually want her to be there. And when I went there, they said, oh yeah, you can't go in, but you can walk around. She walks outside. She walks outside during performances too. So I walked outside, and I walked outside, the wind started blowing harder. I was not prepared for the wind to blow hard. So at one point the video closer. Are you coming closer? Okay. Anyway, I'll finish the story and then we'll tell how that thing is. I walked around the thing, didn't really see anything until I got into that alleyway. I was about to end the video. Then the video In the middle of me talking, it turned off. Because I said something about like, oh well, if you're not gonna show up, then I'm gonna leave. Give me a sign. And it turned the thing on. I'm off. Now, I was like, oh yeah, great joke. I thought it was my battery. So I figured, okay, change the battery and all that. I did not even press the power button. The battery was in. I was like looking around for maybe a minute, and then all of a sudden, just as I was about to pack up and say my final phrase, my final closing act, she turned on. It turned on. I was like, and I started laughing. I'm like, and that's when during the performance, you could hear giggling through the door. So I was like, when I do this kind of things, I get weird things happening with my electronics because I rely heavily on electronics. I am not a sensitive, and I do not claim to be a sensitive. Some people will say I have the sensitivity.
Stopped.
Everything's still on.
And the live is still going.
No, or unless she's talking about, I put away the SB11 because the batteries died on me. It turned on and it turned off. Did you just see something? Yeah.
I just keep checking the light to see if they'll flicker.
Yeah. But that's the sign. That's one of the signs you know she's around. The lamps flicker. Though these are LEDs, no longer the halogen ones. So I don't know if that makes a big difference.
Yeah, they're newer light bulbs. I don't know.
So first, and it's marked as from something. Anyway, so if you are here, please try to give us a distinct sign that you are here.
Just got really quiet.
And the wind just stopped too.
The wind stopped and all the cars are not on the road anymore. None that way. And two just passed. Just got really quiet at the moment. Jubo said, give us a sign if you're here. The wind died down and all the cars have stopped. Interesting.
Interesting. Anyway, to carry on the stories here, those of you who have seen it, you guys can actually see the stories I've said on the way here. That tree right there was supposedly our first sighting. This is a group of guys I used to do this a long time with. We came here not with cameras. We actually brought our still photo cameras to catch stuff. Yeah, that's how old we used to be. That tree right there was our first sighting. Supposedly a mist on a windy day now. On a windy day like today, a mist drew up from that tree and went out towards that back area where Harding is. I didn't see it personally, but a few of the guys has. And we were like, okay, you guys gonna play around that way. Let's hang out over here and see if anyone wants to get scared. Well, it started raining when we said that. Started drizzling that night. And when it was drizzling, we walked across the way to that stop sign right there, and we were just talking about ghosts. And as well, everybody knows when you talk about ghosts of the area, they like to listen and hang out. This is my personal experience. I'm willing to share this one because, you know, a lot of people, I know a lot of people see it when it rains. There is a shape of somebody when it drizzles and rains. You know how when it rains hard, you kind of see the shape of something? That's what they seen down there on that side. That's why we were stationed right there for a bit. I was hoping for tonight to be a semi-drizzly night just to see if we could actually catch something. But as you can tell, all we're getting is slight signs left and right about this location. So anyway, and since Skyler is really just pointing all at me, we got him into the picture.
What's up?
Because I like to share But yeah. So, but for those of you out there and out there, if you guys really want to see what's on the ghost radar, currently right now I have it on quiet only because there's no real use for it to be loud because it's so loud out here. And currently right now it has, for those of you who've seen it, there are a few blips that show up, but according to the radar and the line, because it's also an EMF reader too, yeah. See these 3 lines right here? When they intersect, that's when an anomaly actually really happens.
Interesting.
There is no intersection, and it's been like that for almost like 2 minutes.
Wow.
So maybe she got bored of us because we were talking about her, and yeah. That's only my speculation, but yeah, that's the story about the ghost of the 16th Avenue Bridge. For those of you who's trying to figure out. Okay, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, that scream?
Yeah.
That little kid scream. Do you think that was from the car, or do you?
It could have been by a car. It's rare that you hear screams out here.
Yeah, I don't know if the iPhone can pick that up. Did you guys hear that? Let me know in the comments if you guys heard that. Just a second ago as we were talking, we heard a little girl scream. Underneath the overpass on that side.
And oh, that's so weird.
I don't know if it was a little girl in a car driving by or what with the window down, but right after we started, she got bored of us. We heard the little girl scream, and now it's starting to rain on us as well.
All right, so I'll keep the cameras going.
They heard it on this. They heard it on my iPhone, yeah.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. Is that a sign? If it was me, I would say, you tell me what that was. Hence why I call it OMG WAT DAT.
Yeah, everyone's like, wow, what was that? Do you think they'll be more active if you go later, maybe midnight?
Yeah, the later we go is better, but
the cops right now are giving us a hard time, and you just want to respect them and respect HPD.
So, and I've been harassed many times already by these cops. So
yeah, both me and Jubu here were at Judd Trail with Joe, and yeah, they're giving us hard times about curfew. I don't know. Oh shoot. It was when you were talking about Judd Trail now. It just stopped, turned green completely. Oh yeah. Yeah,
and then now that you focused on it, it went back to shining back and forth.
Oh wow. I'm sorry. It's all about you here.
Hey, it's a child.
We'll talk about you again.
So for those of you on OMG WAT DAT,
I don't think it's illegal to sit on the bridge.
Nope, it's not.
We are not in the middle of the road. We're not blocking anyone's way.
Nope.
No one's either side are coming, so we're not being in anyone's way or breaking any laws right now. So everything we're doing is legal.
Legal, and
we obey the laws.
We're not past curfew.
And we're not past whatever curfew we believe, even though I've not heard of one. But we will respect everything. Yeah, if the cop told us to leave right now, we would.
We would. Shouldn't be no problem. I got my footage, so
we got the screen, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and then let me close this off. All right, guys, that's the story of the 16th Avenue Bridge and the story of the girl who died here tragically, either by suicide or by accident. So till the next episode of OMG WAT DAT, my name's Jubu. I am with Skyler. We'll see you on the next episode of OMG WAT DAT. Till then, peace.